Hello everyone, this is our group presentation from group 6. We will present you about our game project. We call it Penguin's Adventures. Let's start it. Before we make a game, the first thing we make is game design document, and the first is about game concept. And our game is casual game. That means they generally involve simple rules and have shorter sessions, and with the 2 dimensions sprite graphic and with the Frogger style, which means where the player control a penguins who want to head for the pot to cook their catfish by passing and avoiding seals and bacteria as enemies. And the next is so about target platforms. Our games can be accessed from the desktop platforms, and our game is just for browser game. The next is about player controls. You can control your characters with WASD keyboard, which means W is for up, A is for left, S is for down, and D is for right. And when the player clicks the keyboard key, the characters will be moved. And if you want to increase your character speed, you can use the WASD plus Shift key. So your characters, your penguins, will be sprint. But the penguins cannot sprint for a long time because the penguins have limited stamina. Okay, the next is about game mechanics. So the penguins can move in many directions like up, down, left, and right. And if penguins hit seals and bacteria, then games will be restarted. And if you want to win this game, you must be-risk the pot. If you win this game, you will continue to the next level.
And this is our code that we use to create the game. There was HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and Pacer. The material we find is from Pacer and Zenva Academy, and this was the link that we find the material for code our game. And this is the asset. There was background, and this is the enemies. There are the seal and the bacteria, and this is the penguin that we must to move it, and this is the treasure, the pot we must to get to win this game. Sprite design created by our artist Yocelin, Faristi daily. This design tells about there was a penguin who had just returned after fishing in the sea, and he wanted to cook the fish in a pot, but on his way to the pot, the penguin meets the enemies. There are seals and the bacteria. In order to get to the pot safely, he must avoid the sea and the bacteria. So this game is about the penguin who wants to cook his fish, but he must avoid the enemies first.
Hello guys, welcome back. I'm FX Kennard Sugirotok from group 6, and in this video I'm going to show you how the code for our game Penguin's Adventure works. So let's begin. So we start first by looking at the game. So if we look at the game, so this game begins with the title screen or the menu screen, and then there's 3 selections you can select from. There is play, level select, and about. So when you click level select, you can select 3 levels. When you click about, you can see our groups: Arina, Jecyca, Muhammad, Risma, Randy, and Yocelin, and myself. And if you click play, if you click play, you're gonna go to the first level, and then let's try to finish the game first. So as you can see, I can sprint by clicking shift, and there's a stamina which you cannot see, but you cannot run forever. So once you ran out of stamina, you need to stop a little bit, and you cannot run till your stamina recharge, and then you can run again. So let's try to go to the finish line. If I can't do that, okay, once the game is over, you reached your goal, you can see there's a text saying game over, meaning that you have finished the game. So let's go to the code. So if you go to the code, let's go to the HTML first. So you can see we have the regular HTML basic body right here, basic structure, and in this little style here, we have some stylings for the for this border here, and then and then in this link, it is linking to our logo, our game logo, as you can see here. In this corner right here, you can see our logo. So let's go back here, and then as you can see, we have a lot of scripts here, pretty a lot of scripts here. So if we can, as you can see, the first script is for the Pacer framework. So I got the minimal version here, so we can have it a little bit light for the memory. And then the second one, we have the game over.js, which handles the game over. And then the next one is the level 2, which actually is level 3 because we start from 0, but it displays level 2. The next one, we have level 1.js. The next one, we have level 0, which is level 1. The next one, we have level select, which is the menu for the selection level, for the level selection. So in the next one, we have about.js, which shows the about screen, which you already saw in the first display when after you click about. The next one, we have startgame.js. The next one is loadgame.js. So this loadgame.js, let's take a look at that first, because this is the first that we're gonna take a look. We're gonna see on the screen once we start the game. Then we go to the start game, which is the menu, and the next one about level select, level 0, 1, 2, and game over. So we load it basically only in this order. There's no way you can load it like other than this order. I mean, there is some, but the key is you have to load it from the last scene until the first scene you're gonna see in the screen, because for you to be able to load these scenes, we call it scenes for in this framework. For you to be able to load all of these scenes, you need to have it loaded in the HTML first before you can select or start the scenes. So let's go to the first one, which is load game. So in this load game file, we have class load game extends phaser.scene. So this is, and the constructor. So the constructor is going to have a key. And when you call the scenes, it's going to ask for a key. So basically, we have the constructor. So we have the preload, we have the create function here. So in this framework, we have a couple of key functions which we really need for the game to be able to run. So the first one, which is like the most important one, you cannot not have it if you want the game to run. So it is the create function. So in this function, you're gonna create all of this. The next one is the preload function, which is load in this scene. This is for loading the audio. So the next one, we have config. This is also important for the game to load. So this config right here we have the basic configurations of the game, which is width, height, type, physics, which I'm using the default, I'm using the arcade physics in this game, the FPS, the gravity, the debuff. This should be debug, but it doesn't matter actually. The next one is we have this scene, which includes all of the scenes we are going to have in our game. Now, if you load the scenes in the wrong order, let's say this load game is the first script you're gonna load, then that means you cannot do this because it's going to be undefined because you haven't loaded, so the game hasn't received the script for you to be able to load in this variable game for the game screen. So the next one, let's go to the start game, to the menu. So in this file, we are also going to have the same, we can say, identifier for each scenes. This one is start game, so we have active false, so it doesn't load until we call the scene to start. The next one is preload, loading all of the important assets for the game, like images and others. We have create, also like we create all of the assets for the game, and we have like for event listeners, we have about button, we have all of the things you can see in the screen, on the screen, and we have the music credit here. So we are using music from 8-Bit Adventure from Adhesive Wombat. So let's go to the first scene we have for the first level we are going to have in the game. So this is quite a long code if you compare it from the menu. Okay, so this is the first level we got. Continue to the first level. We have the constructor, super, and we have the init. Now this function is not a must, but it is a better practice to start using this to like define like a global, basically a global variables for the game. So like the basics, like the player starting positions, player speed, etc. The next one we have the preload, which you already know, to load all of the assets. The next one, the most important function in this framework, is create. We have the background, we have the player, which we have set collide world bounds, so the player could not get or escape out of the map. The next one is player slippery. This one is for the player to move dynamically, so it seems like it's slippery in the snow, because it should be, I think. The next one is we got the player stamina. So this one is what I just told in the beginning, what I just said in the beginning. So we begin with 100 stamina, and then once we click shift is down, we are going to decrement the stamina. So you're gonna run out of stamina, and once it is 0, that means you are not going to be able to run until it is more than 0 again. So yeah, so in this file we also have the key, we also assign all the inputs, we also assign its function to move and to run, and then we also have this set texture here. This is for the player to change image or change skin once you click the shift button, so it changed to the Rage Penguin skin. The next one we have the bounce. Now all of these is basically so that you can let's say you hit the enemy, then you are going to lose. It is stated here. And once you hit the enemy, you're going to restart the scene. So you're going to restart the scene, it is stated right here. And once you hit the goal, you are going to go to the next level or win. Now in this case, we're going to the next level. which is level 1 or level 2. So let's go to level 1. This is all basically the same thing, just different placements. Like there is more enemy here. We got I believe a bacteria, a monster bacteria. Now this one we got also, yeah, so we got the bacteria, I mean bacteria or whatever it is called. We got the same inputs here, nothing different, just a little more enemy. And then the next one, let's go to the level 2 or level 3. So in this level we got another enemy, which is seal. So we got 2 seals and 1 bacteria. So in this scene we have, it is a night scene, so it's like the level 2 is like evening or like afternoon. The next one is, the last one is nighttime, so it is scary. Ooh, scary, oh my god. I'm sorry. So we have basically the same thing, we just have another seal. So all of this is basically the same thing because it is only another level. So in this level, because this is the last level, once you hit the goal, you are going to see the game over text and pause the scene, so it's going to freeze, and then you have won the game. Okay, so this is the last scene you're going to see. So I uploaded the file also in the itch.io here for you to be able to run the game and try it for yourself. Now if you run the game here, it is the same game, just you can load it from the browser without having to download all of this by yourself. So that's it. That's how the code works for our game Penguin's Adventure. I hope you liked the game, and I hope I did explain it to you pretty clear, because I think this is a pretty simple game actually, but it is a pretty simple game. So that's it guys for this code explanation. So yeah, that's it for the code explanation guys. I hope I explain it pretty clearly for you to understand. So thank you very much. Have a nice day, afternoon or night. See you.